Welcome Home Radio Podcast. Are you looking to buy or sell your home? Our team is here with answers to guide you through the buying and selling process. We encourage you to ask questions. Please comment on this show or visit us at welcomehomeradio.net for more information. Bringing real estate, lending, and education together in one place, and to help you make the right home decision for you and your family. Here are your hosts, Blair Thomas, Tom Holm, Alan Pace, and Jeff Duffy.
And welcome to Welcome Home Radio, where real estate lending and learning come together. It is October 25th. What a wonderful month we've had so far. Weather has been outstanding. But we're going to be talking about winterizing your home, getting ready for the winter months. Now, it could be a mild winter here in Texas. It could be a hard one. But we want to prepare our homes, especially for those new homeowners that have never gone through a winter. What do you need to do? And I want to welcome our co-host, Alan, Tom, Jeff. How are y'all doing today?
Good morning, sir.
I haven't frozen yet, but I'm going to try to at least.
Well, we are talking about winter.
With this topic, that means at least we're entering what fall is for us. We never know what that is every year, right? Is it a week? Is it 2 or 3 weeks maybe? But
well, I bought a new snow blower this
cooling
year.
Off a little bit, so that's the biggest. That's the biggest thing about it.
Well, I'll come borrow it, Tom, from you when I need it. Okay.
Okay.
Well, you're buying rent homes.
To come borrow it.
I find it funny here in Texas. We either get ice or nothing, not snow. We don't.
Ice blow. It's an ice blower. It's
ice blower.
To chip ice.
Well, listen, we want to go over tips about homes, and whether you own a home for a long time or been a new homeowner, these are going to be valuable tips for you to look at your home. And every year we need to go over this. First one right off the bat, you can save a little energy. You can save a little bit on your bill if you do turn down your thermostat or turn up your thermostat in a winter time. So setting your thermostats, whether you have 2 stories, 1 story, setting them to a comfortable but a little bit uncomfortable. You can always unlayer clothes. You cannot continue to turn that thermostat hotter. So be thinking of that. Also, if you're warming your house, you need to seal your house. That means caulking. That means window seals, door frames. All of these need to be checked. And what's an easy way to check for leakage in your home? I don't know. What's an easy way to check?
Well, you can generally feel drafts.
Okay.
You know, winds come out of the north. It's a little different, especially down here in the south. But in the winter they do, and in fall they do. At least we hope they will. And you can feel a draft by your windows, by your doors. And here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, most of these homes were built with really bad windows.
Or depending on the age as well, that the door jamb. Maybe time to replace those sometimes. That's where you'll find your draft start.
Yep, it's always someplace that opens.
I had to do that. I had to do that recently.
Yeah, door frames tend to change when foundations move, and therefore it creates that gap. My wife is a stickler for finding those. It seems like she spends her days now searching out all those drafts, whether around doors, windows, whatever. So
Closure flue in the fireplace.
There we go. Talk about cleaning out your chimney, making sure it's, ready to flow smoke and not backing up. Service that heating system. You ever turn on your heating system first time you think something's burning in the house, right? Because that coil's just getting fired up for the first time. So servicing your HVAC. Especially
because here you may run the heat a few days and a week later you need the
air conditioning back on.
In Texas, at least.
Or during a certain late winter that we had, we don't have no electricity. So I would say live by a fire department or a hospital. That's good advice.
Police station, fire department, hospital.
That's me.
Me too.
Great concern. Some basic things. Reverse the direction of your fans. Instead of blowing down, have them move up so you're circulating. Very, very simple thing that can be done, but reversing those fans, it does help. And
Stuff about your faucets outside. That's an obvious one. I don't want to. Got to cover them.
what do y'all cover them with? I have seen multiple types of solutions with that.
I still have one of mine. Still has the old school tension with the styrofoam cup, but the other one last year I bought, it's kind of like a sock that goes over and it tightens.
That's what my wife got into the new stuff, and I've got I sock or a little bag. She goes around and hooks those up.
I wrap towels around mine.
I'm sorry?
I wrap towels around mine with a strap.
Old school.
If it works, it works.
There you go. What else? What else? I mean, do y'all drain your watering system?
After every bath,
That's not your yard, silly.
Try to do that.
The intent is there, but that doesn't typically.
I've never done it once.
And if it's buried deep enough, it shouldn't be an issue either way. So
It shouldn't. But
4 inches
one of the ones that we talked about, if you own a pool, you've got to maintain that pool, keep it flowing so the water does not freeze. I have unfortunately had that happen. And once that happens and everything stops, boy, you need to open up air, let those let things move the way it needs to as it freezes. It can be challenging.
That was a big deal, that last freeze we had a couple years ago, that extended one. Gosh, so many pools were messed up.
well, it took them a whole year to get the parts in for a lot of folks. So their pool sat there the whole summer and the whole time. And
That was a big mess.
I've just because of the years with mine, I've had one of those freezes too, where it busted a bunch of equipment that I had to replace. So the next year now, I have a tarp that covers the equipment. I sat in there one freeze with my little camping heater to make sure the tarp and everything was kept warm. That was so expensive. So there's your extreme.
I just make sure it flows well and stays on.
But you have your little fishing rod out there also, and
Ice fishing? Yeah.
go ice fishing.
S'mores in the fireplace. It was a good time.
Well, I mean, one
I
of the
think it
things
helps to
also,
have a saltwater pool, by the way.
I'm sorry?
I think it helps to have a saltwater pool. I didn't experience the same thing everybody else was experiencing.
Salt water does not freeze. It has a different temperature setting for freezing as opposed to, so that is true. What else about your lawn? I mean, one of the things that I always see, I clean out my gutters to make sure it's ready for the snow, the melt, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's the tall lawn.
Yeah, if it's growing into your gutter, you got an
I was
issue.
going to say, you got some real problems at your house, Mr.
I do.
Earth and Moon.
Maybe I need to mow it now, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe
He's that guy in the hood. Are you going to cut it some year?
Yeah. Don't let us rush you on that.
But
I won't.
that is a good point about having gutter guard, though. Gutter guard's a good investment for any home, and because dirty gutters cause foundation issues, they sag. But the only thing you have to do with gutter guard most of the time is blow out the little crystals that are coming off your roofing. But you don't get leaves in there, and you don't get the clogs you generally get because most homes have trees around them and leaves get in there, and that can be an issue in the winter. It can be an issue any time of year, but especially in the winter.
Well, I meant outdoors and lawn care and so forth. Is there anything else we treat outside, whether it be the lawn, the trees, gutters?
Good time to go ahead and put some of the you can do some winterizing and stuff for the lawn and pre-emergence that will help not let the weeds get a jump start in the spring. So I've certainly done that over the years, not every single year, but I can tell a difference.
Yeah, and if you got the other thing you got to be careful with down here in this part of the world is you see a lot of those palm trees. Blair, I think you and I watched, we played golf, and remember that couple of palm trees, there was holes in the windows behind it. And, so palm trees die. That's an expensive thing to let die. You got to keep them watered and probably get some professional to tell you how to do it. But a lot of those died, and that was very expensive repair for homeowners.
Very true. What about, do we do any preventment of pests coming in? I mean, with the weather the way it is, insects, bugs, rodents. I mean, do y'all do any treatments around the house?
I only have 2 spots that I've had an issue once before in the wintertime, and that was the heater to the pool equipment. Rats made a nest in there and chewed up my wiring. So I just put preventative pouches down in certain areas now. But knowing my house and my family, it is organic, so I don't know how well it works. That's my wife and my daughters.
Okay.
Well,
It's a
we're
very
talking-
orange. They don't like it, I guess, or something. But
we're talking about winter, and since this is a nationally broadcasted podcast, there actually is winter up north, and there's a lot of things you need to do up there from the roof down. You see in snow areas, of which I grew up in, any roof that doesn't have snow on it means it has poor insulation up there. So then if you do have good insulation and you get a lot of snow on your roof, you need to get up there and get that weight off, because snow is very heavy. It's not good for the structure of your home. Obviously, hoses and things are off the spigots, and they're all covered up. A lot of people wrap their pipes. We did as a kid. We wrapped all of our pipes that we had access to in the basement. And of course, you need wood. Back in the day, it was wood, coal, and oil. Now it's gas, and still a lot of people using oil up north. And you have to make sure all of those things are working properly, your tanks and all the lines to your home. So it's a little different down here in the south, but up north, it's a big deal. It's half the year. And, salt, shovels, ice, snow. I mean, gosh, it's just so different up there. But I think if you're up north, you're working on winterizing right now for sure. If you're down here in Texas and we're going to enjoy a 90-degree day today, it's not in our brain yet. We usually get into it when it's too late.
well
We're
said.
in reaction mode.
Are you talking about the panic when we are trying to get home from work?
Well, or the electric grid going out for
coming in.
72 hours. That electric grid thing isn't fun.
Yeah. One of the things that I would find that I do is I replace my batteries in my fire and my what is the H2, not
Carbon
the
dioxide.
carbon dioxide detectors. So changing those out regularly keeps me from hearing that beep beep beep.
Which only goes
constantly,
off at 2 in the
and-
morning, never at 9 in the afternoon. Or it's like, I don't know how those things time it like that.
Well, it's funny. The smoke detectors in a home, it's finding out which one. I find it because I've got 5 of them in one area. Figuring out which one has gone down, I just
Impossible.
decided I had to take them all down, change them all out. So
Yeah, I
What
think
else?
the whole winter thing is interesting. It's just so regional, but I think down here in this part of the world, doing everything quarterly is a good idea. Your bug sprays, your lawn stuff, your in general. I don't know for sure that some of those bugs want to come in the house because it's warm. They've been around for millions of years, so I don't know how that works. But I do know that annual maintenance of things like lawn care and taking care of your home when it comes, varmints and bugs and things like that. I think if you just stay on that schedule, down here you'll be in pretty good shape. But when we get the extremes down here, it's different than when you get the extremes up north. 20 below zero up north is considered extreme, but a lot of them can handle it. They've got the wood, they've got things they need as a backup. Here, we're off the chart if it gets to, we got what, 2 below? We got 2 below. I mean, we can't do 2 below. Our windows are like that thick. It's like, we can't do that. So things are different here. But anyway, we'll get through winter. We always do.
one of the things that I find interesting is that the ice jams. If you have ice around your house, are you cleaning those things off on a normal day? I know things melt pretty quick, but whenever we do have 5, 6, 7 straight days of below freezing, we need to be cognizant of where ice is gathering and therefore clearing it out. Because like you said, Alan, it can be damaging to our homes here.
It's always too late if it happens and we didn't do anything. It's like you have to prepare for that best you can. But, then again, boy, ice is just such a different animal. It is so destructive. And all you can do is deal with it after it happens. You can do your best to deal with it before. Maybe put some salt down where you have to walk. Or I think they have stuff for the roads on the highways down here. They pre-treat. I don't know what that's called. Maybe one of you guys do. But supposedly it's supposed to help. What is that called?
A lot of times just sand, but they do have but sometimes they will have a mixture of something in it. But a lot of times here it's just sand.
Yeah. And
we haven't said this one thing. Turn off your sprinkler system.
Yep.
How many times you have freezing rain, you got ice packs on the street, and the only reason why they're there is because somebody left a sprinkler on and it's running out into the street and therefore creating potential issues. Because Texans can't drive on ice. It's cows on ice time.
I don't care where you live, you can't drive on ice. It's like slippery.
Well, I mean, after living in... Go ahead, Tom.
Another thing with turning on water, turning off water, turn on water to slowly drip and turn your hot water on, or turn it to the hot water to slowly drip. I tell all my tenants on these evenings or days when it's going to be sub-freezing for a long period of time that they're responsible. If water pipe breaks, they're going to end up paying for it because that's in my lease with them, that they will end up paying for it. So they've got to take due diligence and drip that water.
That's good.
Very true.
Sounds like a good book. Drip that water.
Drip that water.
Or country song.
One of the other final things I would look at around here is, because we do love our trees, but thinning them out. Have you ever seen these trees that have ice and then all of a sudden ice freezes or snow freezes down? You've got ice breakage, you've got tree limbs breaking, and possibly even falling into homes. Cutting those back, thinning them out before winter really helps those out, I believe. That's
a good point. And it is a big, big deal up north with a lot of snowfall. Snow is very heavy. And I remember being a kid getting up there and you just shovel it. You get it off your roof because it really is a lot of weight. And you see a lot of cave-ins. You see a lot of leaks, damages to roofs up north. So I'm sure the people up there already know this, but that's something we don't have to deal with too much. I guess, but we have the tornadoes and the ice storms to make up for that.
Well, again, this is for first-time homeowners as well as long-time. Sometimes we forget these things, but you brought up something earlier. Having a generator and gas available, especially for our power or energy crisis that could take place, is always a proactive approach to that, so that you're not left without key areas being heaters or being a stove or microwave or so forth. I mean, it's not going to power your whole house, but it is going to provide you to be able to survive during these times with that energy. I mean, so many people can't do without their phone. At least you'll recharge your phone. Maybe that'll energize people to do it.
Yeah. The other thing that was, I thought interesting going through that thing here, the 2 below zero stuff, people were worried about their food in the refrigerator when the electric went out. And I can't tell you how many times I said, well, just put your stuff outside on the back porch. 3-0 stage is fine. Your other stuff, put it in coolers, put a blanket on it. Everything will be just great. But people don't think that way in general. I think a lot of people do, but some don't. So for those first-time home buyers that might go through it, in the summer, it's an issue, but it usually doesn't stay out for 3 days in the summer.
Go ahead and buy some of these items now, like your faucet covers, because some places will run out of those. Don't, just from experience, Don't wait until you're trying to haul home before the storm flies in and the freeze happens. You got to cover something that you hadn't already prepared, right?
They can do what Alan does. Wrap it with a towel, with a rubber band. All good.
It works, baby.
God.
And I use a different colored towel in each spigot.
Oh yeah, that way you can tell which one's which, the front, the back.
Tom, you're catching on quick, buddy.
Cardinal directions are not Alan's strength. Go to the orange towel. The orange towel.
The orange towel, Alan. Orange towel.
I never had a leak one on the orange towel.
What else, guys? What else can we be helping people? I mean, what about the garage? Anything unique?
I need
Any
somebody
power
to come
tools?
paint my
Take off
floor.
the back. Huh?
I need somebody to come paint my floor.
Well,
Well, there's
Oh,
two
that's
different
not
subjects
winterization.
in the garage. You got attached and non-attached. So there might be two different issues there. Attached, you're probably in pretty good shape. But if it's not attached and it's, 40 feet from your house or something and doesn't have heat, doesn't have anything else, then yeah, there's things to pay attention to in there that you might not want in there during freezing weather. Like paint. Paint's a good example. You go in to use that paint a year later, and if it's in your house, it's probably fine. But if it's in your detached garage and it got below 32 for an extended period of time, it's probably useless.
what about any electrics out there? If you've got power tools, you need to unhook the battery, make sure it's not connected.
I'm not sure on the tools, but
Yeah, I would just leave them plugged in. I mean, you're fine. It's generally safe to do that.
let's go back to not getting it getting that cold here. Hopefully,
Yeah.
that would
Well,
be my goal.
The last part of this is order our parkas now. It's obviously going to be horrible this winter.
God. Snowmageddon.
He's looking for it.
I'm going to buy more orange towels. I'm going to need them.
So, do you guys park your cars in your garage during these winter months?
I always park in my garage.
The 75 Chrysler.
I
is
don't. I guess it was
always
a
in the
faux pas
garage.
created in my brain when I was young. The garage is meant for my car. So
I guess so.
I missed that out. My wife has the garage. I'm outside, so my car has a tarp.
Yeah, I don't use tar. I just.
You use an orange towel.
It's a car.
It's
I mean,
a
we
car.
get hail damage. We
Orange
get hail
towels
damage
work
on our
fine.
cars. I don't think snow's going to bother us at all.
I'm not worried about snow. I'm worried about ice and
just
other
the
things.
whole cleanup mess of it. So
Yeah, 50% of the cars down here,
Right.
everybody, light hail damage.
Oh, Jeff's afraid his car, he'd have to clean it. Oh my God.
oh, it's yeah. I wish.
I wouldn't worry about his car.
Oh, it might get sand on it. Oh my
I'm
God.
going to send you a picture of how dirty my car is and show you otherwise.
I'd like to see
You
that.
forget we have a horse in the family, so driving out to the barn does not lead to a clean car.
That's
It's
quite
the
a
return
segue.
trip that's dirty, right?
So
One
what do you have to
horsepower
do
to
with the
another.
horse in the winter?
Throw a blanket on him.
You park
Oh,
him in the
drive.
barn?
An Allen solution with a rubber band.
And you just have to get a stick and keep the ice busted on the trough. So otherwise, you're in pretty good shape.
You ought to see the size of my rubber bands, Tom.
I bet. I
They're
can
that
imagine.
thick. They're that long.
TMI. Well, guys, I think we've exhausted. I hope this has helped you out in winterizing your home, getting some things prepared so that you're not caught off guard and that the largest investment you have in your family is taken care of. So be proactive, be prepared, try to look at your home as that investment, and you need to protect it. If you have questions, find us at welcomehomeradio.net. Leave them there. We'll try to get back with you as soon as possible. Godspeed. God bless. I'm Blair Thomas.
And I think I'm Tom Holm today.
I'm Alan Pace.
And I'm Jeff Duffy.
God bless. Bye-bye.
Welcome Home Radio production provided by Lunatic Digital. Check the listing of this podcast for the links to our sponsors. And don't forget to like, share, and follow us on social media. Visit welcomehomeradio.net for more information.
This was a Lunatic Digital production. Visit lunaticdigital.com for all your digital needs.